Long ago, in the heart of this forest, lived a very pure young maiden. She was an orphan and lived alone among the plants and animals of the forest.
One day, the devil, hoping to trouble the young girl's spirit and strengthen his power over mankind, filled her mind with languorous daydreams. She spoke to her confessor, who advised her to always keep a light near her bed. One evening, she forgot to light it, and the devil, under the cover of darkness, took on human form, slipped into the girl's home, and as she slept, had carnal knowledge of her.
In the morning, the devil had disappeared. Some time later, the young girl realized she was pregnant. When her son was born, she named him Merlin. At birth, Merlin was extremely ugly and hairy as an animal. Luckily, he'd inherited some extraordinary powers, including being able to change his appearance. He grew up in the forest and quickly learned all its secrets. He knew every tree and every forest dweller. At that time, the forest was filled with some strange characters. It wasn't uncommon to meet elves or fairies admiring their reflection in the pools or playing in the clearings. Merlin enjoyed being with them and sharing tricks.
Merlin became a young man. He was far from his home, walking in a part of the forest he didn't know, when he had an unexpected encounter. The young woman on the edge of the fountain was of incomparable beauty. Merlin learned that her name was Vivian. Vivian and Merlin spent the entire day together and never saw the time pass. Merlin relied on all his magic to charm her, offering her fabulous gifts, conjuring up a castle and a feast with ladies and knights wearing sumptuous costumes. Vivian was delighted and promised to love him in exchange for a few secrets.
Merlin, however, had other things on his mind. He had often to go to England and give support to young King Arthur, who certain barons didn't recognize as their legitimate heir to the throne. But Arthur had been the only man able to free the sword Excalibur from the anvil in which it had been imprisoned. When he returned to Broceliande, Merlin met Vivian in the hollow trunk of an old oak tree. "Dear sweet friend," she said, "won't you teach me some new games? How could I, for example, put a man to sleep for as long as I pleased without his ever waking?"
Fully understanding the danger of her request, Merlin decided to teach her other tricks. He told her 3 magic words which could protect her from being possessed if she carried them with her. She took careful note of Merlin's words because, as they say, woman is more wily-wise than the devil. After defeating the Saxons, King Arthur's knights had nothing to do and were growing bored. Merlin offered them a new challenge, the quest for the Holy Grail that had been lost in Brittany. The Knights of the Round Table swore to abide by the rules of highest chivalry. Then Merlin left them. His thoughts were elsewhere, with Vivian, the woman he loved.